Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 18 May 2023, 9 o'clock, Thursday night. Time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a huge knife sale we shall have. Huge. We got, gosh, I think almost 40 items tonight. We got some pens, we got a watch, we got knives galore. It's going to be fun. Before we get into it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I will post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also reprint them in the description underneath this video. Also in the terms of the sale, at the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first one is to my Primer for Buyers video. Especially if you're new, you want to watch that video. It's basically a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale, why they exist, and why they are the way they are. So give that a look. The second link will be to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you are interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection, please watch that video. It explains how it all works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my Rates and Services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in that all-important video description at the very top, you'll see the 3 links, then the terms of the sale, then at the very bottom, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. To kind of explain the pricing column, you'll generally see 2 numbers. The one on the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the sale video, the price on the right as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be no next day sharpening this week. I'm a little bit behind in my sharpening, so need to spend Friday sharpening knives on the calendar. So your sharpened knife tonight will ship in about 3 weeks. If you buy it as shown, it'll ship tomorrow, Friday the 19th. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that far right column, that means that knife has been bought and paid for by its new owner. No need to send an inquiry. I don't mark them sold until they are sold. Okay, I think that's about it for housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we got some leftovers from last week we got to work through, and there are going to be some screaming deals on these guys. The first one, you know, we had some classic fixed blades last week. This is the only one that made it through. It's an SOG, and I'm really kind of shocked. This is the S5 Tiger Shark. Now, the tang stamp is going to say Seki City, and the box says Linwood, Washington. That is the OG SOG address. So here's the knife. Beautifully made Kydex sheath with a removable clip and dangle. Looks like a neoprene cross strap. I don't have this snapped in because you got to give it a good yank to get it out. If it is snapped into that molded retention, and I didn't want to do that on camera and, you know, cut my hand off or something, so I will snap it in at the end. So the Tiger Shark, a beautiful SOG Bowie, right? We're not sure what the coating on these is. I think it's like a gray powder coat. I'm not sure Cerakote existed when this knife was made, but it could be. There's your Seki City, Seki Japan tang stamp. Combo edge. Blade length on the Tiger Shark 8 3/4. The handle is a craton overmold. Nice grip. Nice cross guard in craton. Handle length is 5 3/16. This was made in 1995 or 6. I'm going to call it near mint to like new in box. They're discontinued, not a stock for a long time. One sold listing on eBay, $427 for this exact package. We started it last week at $245. It didn't sell. Dropped it to $220 for the weekend. It's still here. Somebody gets a heck of a buy on this knife this week, guys. $185 like it is. $220 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. And we'll snap it home, maybe. There. And you'll see absolutely zero rattle. That is the Saga S5 Tiger Shark, Seki, Japan, Linwood, Washington. Next up, I'm really shocked this knife didn't sell last week. Why? Well, that's why. A Spyderco box from the 90s, I think. Model B01P Spiderfly. Some of you guys who stay more in tune with this might know better than I, but I believe this is like the last Balisong knife that Spyderco made. You got a very cool blade, VG10, 4 3/16 inches long, bayonet ground spear point. Handles on the Spiderfly are blasted stainless steel, and they are beautifully made. The latch alone is just a beautiful piece of work. Now, it's not going to latch in the open position, but notice how the spring keeps it down and out of your way. Probably phosphor bronze pivots. The end play at the handles is very minimal. Most of that is just flex. I really don't feel a bit of play, but still nice and free for flipping. 4 3/16 blade, 5 5/8 handles. The clip is a wire clip, and it goes in all 4 positions, if you notice. I'm going to call this near mint to like new in box. They're discontinued for a long time. Out of stock, of course. These sell regularly on Arizona Custom Knives between $450 and $495 when they come available. We ran this last week at $330. Didn't sell, dropped it to $300 for the weekend. Still here. Somebody gets a buy. $255, boys. $290 if you'd like it with my edge. I'm sorry. $280 if you'd like it with my edge. That is the Spyderco B01P Spiderfly. Next, we've got a pen from Matthew Martin. Comes in a tube. Really, I promise it comes in a tube. The one item I didn't take out of the box or packaging before the video. Anyway, here you go. So you got lots of O-rings, and you're going to see why you'll need them. So we have the Matthew Martin Model 500 twist cap pen, copper body, carbon fiber. I guess you'd call that a ferrule or an area that you grab, right? There's your twist cap. So it's 5 3/16 when you have the cap over the point. It's 5 13/16 when you have the cap screwed on the back. All right. Takes a Fisher medium black refill, which is installed. I'll call it near mint and tube. The only thing that really shows any wear on this thing is just the natural patina in the copper. Now, my consignor has 3 O-rings installed in these grooves. You could customize your grip with everything in that baggie, right? So we'll say near mint in tube. Web retail for these brand new is $150. We ran this last week at $120. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $99 for the weekend. Somebody gets a buy on this thing this week. $85 shipped priority mail. Matthew Martin Model 500 twist cap pen. Next up, well, it's a Spyderco, sort of. Actually, no knife. What we do have are a pair of green G10 scales, and this is that sort of gray-green that came on some of the K390 knives, as this did. So I call it the muted green or the gray-green. Came on a Bento Box K390 pair of 3. And they obviously have been installed on a knife, but very fresh texture on the G10, very much like new, except that they've been deinstalled. Don't know, they don't really sell these, but we ran them for what? We ran them for 35 bucks. They didn't sell. We dropped them for 25 to 25 for the weekend. They're still here. So I guess 20 bucks for a change of face on your pair of 3. That's the green G10 scales for the Spyderco pair of 3. Next up, we have us a little fixed blade from Osprey Knife and Tool. It is their Tusk. So Osprey Knife and Tool seems to be closely related to Fiddleback. These are sold at the Fiddleback Outpost. Pretty sweet little knife. The blade steel is CPM 154. The blade length is 2 3/8. The handle is 3 5/8. And I don't know if that's OD canvas micarta. It's kind of hard to tell in that matte finish. I think that's what it is. Then you've got blue liners, and notice the tapered tang. And it appears I guess the liners are not tapered, but the tang sure is. Very nice little knife in hand. Pinky hangs out thusly. Lanyard for anchor if you need it. Very sweet. The flats sort of have a, I don't know, kind of an abrasive applied texture that emulates a Brute DeForge style. Kind of cool. These are out of stock. When they were available at Fiddleback Outpost, they were $250. We ran this one last week at $185, and it's very near mint. No box, no sheath. This is just how they come. We ran it at $185. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $160 for the weekend. Still here. Let's do... I'm sorry. We ran it at $195. Dropped it to $180. We're going to do $160 this week. $160 like it is. $185 sharpened. The Osprey Knife and Tool Tusk. Next up, from Triple J Knife Works, a pretty cool blade, right? Kydex OD on one side, black on the other, and it is a purpose-built chopper. You sort of place the thumb on that lip there, and out she comes. Interesting thought, I think, in a chopper. Laminated steel, M2 in the middle, 1074 on top, and it's almost like this has a gun blue finish. Although it is a chopper, very thin stock, about 100 thousandths, I think. 110. And it stays at full thickness all the way down to a very wide margin convex edge. I believe I sharpened this for this customer years ago. I did. And other than some very small chop and chips, very micro in nature, the edge is still pretty intact. The handle appears to be black and green linen micarta. The blade length is 7 7/8. The handle is 6 1/8. Now it's got some evidence that it's been worked a little bit, but not hard. These are out of stock at Knife Ship Free. When they were available, they were $250. We ran this last week at $185. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $160 for the weekend. Still here. Let's do $140 on the Triple J Knife Works chopper. And if you want me to sharpen it, $175. Oh, golly. Let's see here. Next up, It's time to go to Idaho for a Chris Reeve knife. The knife in the box, a large 31 Sebenza, black canvas micarta inlay. The birth card will tell us that it is S45 VN steel. It was born October 26th of last year. Here's the knife. I love the new 31 inlay design, by the way. You've got your canted clip, so it doesn't affect the lock bar tension and it doesn't create a hot spot. Pretty cool. Nice flickable action, free dropping blade. And guys, I will tell you, 31s have some dimensional issues that make the action feel a little funky on some models. Not this one. It's really quite squared away. Flicks out, drops free, zero play. Your ceramic ball lock interface is beautiful in its engagement. Centering is dead down the middle. The only marks on this knife, if I can even get the camera to show them, they're the tiniest of little rubs on either side of the valley in the clip. Just tiny, like little specks. Don't know if you can see them, but they are there. Other than that, the knife is like new. So we're going to call it near mint. We ran this last week at $575. We dropped it to $545 for the weekend after it didn't sell. This week, aggressive, boys. $495. $495 like it is. $520 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That is the Chris Reeve Large Sebenza 31 S45 black canvas. Next up, here's one I'm shocked stuck around from last week. It's a Spyderco. And it's the Siren Salt in carbon fiber. A really, really, really cool knife, especially if you like to use your knives. So it is scaled in linerless peel ply carbon fiber. It has a blackened deep carry wire clip that goes both ways, tip up. It is a mid-lock design, no boy dent in this one. Made in Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. Sorry for the fingerprints. The satin is pristine. Blade steel is S90V. Blade length 3 5/8. Handle is 5 1/8. Lots of generous real estate, no matter how you'd like to grip it. Very business-like drop point blade, I would say. Let's see, lockup is dead rock solid. It's on a bushing pivot, super free. Blade centering is going to be dead down the middle. Condition on this one, like new in the box. So web retail or map price from Spyderco is $241. We ran this like new in the box knife last week for $210. It didn't sell. We dropped it to $190 for the weekend. Still here. Let's do $175. And then $205 with my edge. That's the Spyderco Siren Salt CF. Next up, we have a modern classic from Kershaw. It is proudly made in the USA. And it's the 1776 Link. It's the original Link. In its least expensive form, at least back in the day. An FRN set of scales. A parkerized, kind of old school Kershaw clip. Speed safe spring assist, 420HC blade. Stainless steel liner lock, nice robust locking leaf, engaged beautifully. Rock solid lockup. Perfect centering. Speed safe action on point. 3 1/4 blade, 4 3/8 handle. It's like new in the box. This is actually discontinued and out of stock. When they were new, they were $47 web retail. And I think you're going to see some that sell for a lot more than that. Not this one. We ran it at, what did we run it at? I forget. I think we ran it for like 50 bucks. Dropped it down to 35 for the weekend. Still here. Let's do $30. Shipped priority mail on the OG link. And 55 if you want my edge on it. Next up, and I think the last leftover from last week, it's a Kershaw. It is made in America, and it's old. What is it? It's the 1635 ST Mini Cyclone. Kind of an icon. I can't believe you guys haven't bought this. Maybe you have a chance to this week. It's kind of special. One of the Ken Onion knives. Here's what's cool about it. First, it's not plastic. Black, hard anodized aluminum scales. It is a speed-safe mechanism that you can turn on and off. Let's put it that way. With this little wheel. On, off. It is engaged now. I'm going to rotate the wheel. Well, maybe I am. There. And no speed safe. I rotate the wheel to on. And, whoops, let me flip it. Oh, got to get it out and engage the spring. There we go. And we got speed safe again. Pretty cool. So, 2 7/8 blade, 13C26. This one was born on, when was it born on? June of 2006. You got that swoopy oniony clip that's going to be right hand tip up or down, not left. There's your stainless steel liner lock engagement. It's rock solid. Blade centering is dead. Condition on the Cyclone, Mini Cyclone, is going to be near mint in box. They're discontinued and out of stock. Some people really love them. People have paid up to $250 for a knife just like this on eBay, ranging down to $60. So they're kind of all over the map. We ran this one at 80 bucks last week. Beautiful example. Didn't sell, dropped it to 60 for the weekend. Still here. Let's do 50 bucks like it is 75 with an TheApostleP edge. It's the Kershaw 1635 ST Mini Cyclone. Next up, oh boys, I might have teased you about this yesterday. It's a ZT. It's a real beast. And the knife inside, well, it's a 562 Hinderer slicer, but it says TS behind the model number. 20 CV blade, black G10 handle. What's that TS mean? Well, you guys know what it means. You know what it means. Oh, yeah. Tiger Stripe DLC, 20 CV blade, 3 9/16 long, Hinderer slicer grind. Kind of hard to see with the Tiger Stripe. Black DLC handle, deep carry, tip up reversible clip, Hinderer lock bar stabilizer, stainless steel lock face sensor. There's your engagement. It is a ball bearing flipper. And there is your black G10 scale. That was fingers on lock bar, by the way. No death lock. So, these were a limited edition from ZT. They are discontinued and out of stock for a while. This one is like new in the box. I would say it's kind of super rare. Let's do 250 bucks. 250 like it is. 280 if you'd like it with an TheApostleP edge. That is the ZT 0562 TS. Next up, we got one from Victorinox. What is it? It's a red Huntsman 53201. So here we go. Huntsman, red, polymer, scales. And the only thing going to keep this knife from being like new is a couple little rubs in the red, okay? So let's go through the tool set. Main spear point, secondary pen, saw, scissors, that tool, toothpick and tweezers, corkscrew, no straight pin, but there is a hole, parcel hook, and all with sewing eye. Don't forget the split ring. Yep, so a very nearly new, except for a little rubs in the plastic, Victorinox Huntsman. Your price, 91mm frame, by the way, $30, shipped priority mail. Next up, interesting little company here, guys, Elite Outfitting Solutions. Maybe not the best name, but what we have inside is a really cool knife made in USA in Goshen, New York. In Goshen, New York. It is the EOS Mini Surgeon. This in the antique finish green hex pattern titanium handle. Very cool pivot, by the way. Really a kind of an exhibition of metal finishing here. Look at the pocket clip. I mean, geez. Right hand tip up, all hardware bronze TI. Clip is bronze TI. Want to see the blade? Oh, there it is. It's like a little sheep cliff worn foot kind of a thing. Blade steel is CTS XHP. Got kind of an acid stonewash tumbled finish. Thumb studs look like copper. I don't know if that's an ano, probably. And just a super cool little knife. 3 1/8 blade, 4-inch handle. Steel inserted titanium frame, locked up nice and deep like I like them. Beautifully secure. Ball bearing pivot. Blade centering. Hard to see back there, but it's down the middle. It's very low in the handle. Very cool. Condition on this Mini Surgeon will be like new in the box. Out of stock. Web retail originally $500. Your price for this one, $370, like it is. $395 with an ApostleP Edge. Yeah. A startup company making pocket knives in America. Elite Outdoor Solutions. How about that? Next up, got one from Hinderer. Probably going to be the cheapest Hinderer you've ever seen on this channel. That's a knife. Look at that. What's inside? Well, it's the LP1 fixed blade Warncliffe neck knife with a kydex sheath and stonewash finish. Now, it comes with a little beaded chain. And here's the knife. Now, this is a skeleton handle knife. My consignor wrapped it with self-adhesive gauze. You can peel that right off, but anyway. So beaded chain, kydex sheath, neck configuration. And there we go. Look at that sexy little Warncliffe blade in S35VN. So 2-inch blade, 2 3/4 handle. Ground fairly thinly for something from Hinderer. And a super simple and beautiful sheath. Good snap, no rattle, beaded chain. Yeah. Condition is like new in box, plus the gauze. These are out of stock right now. When they were available, they were $190 web retail. Let's see, let's do this at $185. Shipped, priority mail, $210 with an ApostleP Edge, the Hinderer LP1 neck knife. Next up, Well, we've seen for years this man's designs for Benchmade, later Hogue. Now we have one of his customs. The baggie will do you no good, but you do get the baggie. That's just retailer barcode. But inside the baggie, we have a pouch. Alicia, it's custom knives. And guys, this is a beauty. I mean, that's a beauty. So it is the Allen Elishewitz Custom M2 folder. Man, what a gorgeous knife. You've got titanium bolsters that have a nice blasted finish, kind of a deep gray. You've got a titanium pocket clip, milled variety, right-hand tip-up carry. Man, that ought to be just right. I haven't put that in the pocket yet, but not excessive tension. The scales are black linen micarta. The hardware is Burple anodized titanium. The liners, and it is a liner lock knife, are blue anodized titanium with jeweling or engine turning on the blade well interfaces. Bunch of cool little hourglass standoffs on the back. And then there's this blade. Alan calls this black snow etching, and it's just freaking cool. It really is. You can definitely see the Elishewitz design language in that sort of harpoon California clip. Hollow grind for the bevel grind, and then a flat grind for the swedge. Gorgeous little inlaid maker's mark behind the thumb stud as well. And then the exterior edges of the titanium liners are orange peel finished. There's your lock engagement, and I don't think it's steel inserted. Is it? It is not. No stick though. Beautiful lockup. Beautiful. Centering perfect, and look at the long blade. Reaches all the way out to the end. Ball bearing pivot. Everything completely squared away, guys. That is a knife maker who has hit his stride and he's just flexing. That is a piece of work. It was $11.25 new from the maker, your price for it. And we're going to say like new in package. And by the way, handmade, no CNC work. $11.25 new from the maker, your price $9.50 like it is, $9.75 with an ApostleP edge on that XHP blade. By the way, 3 11/16 blade, 4 13/16 handle. Beautiful piece of work from Mr. Elishewitz. Next up, got one from Prometheus lights, but it's not a light. It's going to come in that box, no worse for the wear. It's going to come with sunshine polishing cloth. It's going to come with instructions and an Allen wrench. Why would we need instructions, Rob? I guess it's going to explain how we take stuff apart. But anyway, it is the Prometheus Alpha pen in brass. It is 5 inches long when closed up. And then if we flip the cap, it's 5 5/8. Uses a Monteverde black 19F refill. This one has the raw titanium clip, and of course the full kit as you saw. It is like new in the box. Oh, there's your refill. One thing I thought was pretty cool about this, the inside of the cap threaded as normal, but on the barrel there's one thread, both at that end and that end, because that's all it needs. And it just once it's home, it's just beautifully solid, and that brass bites a little bit. It's very nice. Yep. So price on these web retail $180. This one, and I think my customer, my consignor, took it out of the box to look at it. I don't think it's ever been carried or used. So we're going to say like new in box, $150 on the Prometheus Alpha Pen in brass. Next up, here's something from a manufacturer I haven't seen before. It's from Lost Dutchman Leather. Nate Walker, crafted by hand. And what we have is his big thin wallet. 3 1/4 across, 3 3/4 tall, has a flap and a retention strap. 1, 2, 3 internal pockets, and then if you like to have easy access to your most used cards, you got a little slot back here. This is in buck brown leather with caramel stitching. It is like new in the box. And Lost Dutchman sells these from Mesa, Arizona, where they're handmade, on their website for $95, brand new. This one is like new in the box. Can be yours at $75. That's the Lost Dutchman Big Fin leather wallet. Next up, we have a watch. I definitely teased you about this one. It's a Casio, but it's not a G-Shock. It's not an Edifice. It's not a Casio. It's a Pro-Track. And comes with this little tag around the strap, says triple sensor, and some kind of Japanese mumbo jumbo tough movement. The hang tag says that it is a model PRW-61Y-1BJF, and it's running the 5673 module. Where's the watch? I can't seem to find the watch. Wait, it's on my wrist. Yeah, so here it is, guys. What you got here is 43 millimeters on the narrowest points between the pushers and crown guards in diameter. Thickness of 14. I think the lug width is like 23. And it has a screw-on case back. Now, Casio has some kind of eco-friendly term for this case material. It's like bioplastic. I don't know about the case, or I don't know what that means, but the strap is unbelievably beautiful. It's got some rigidity, but it's smooth and slippery. It's plenty supple. It's plenty thick. It's just a beautiful piece of work. You do have quick release spring bars if you'd like to change straps, but why would you? The lug to lug is long but deceiving. It's 55, but they turn aggressively down and they articulate just a tiny bit. Multiband 6, radio controlled time, altimeter, thermometer, barometer, world timer, backlight, lumen hands and markers, and a digi display. Super cool hiker's watch. You got a PVD coated stainless steel bezel with all your world timing cities. So negative display LCD, very visible though, I must say. It's in the standard display mode, which is day date. The indices are big chunks of lume. The lume is plenty adequate, but let's say you wake up at 4 in the morning, it's still dark and your lume is faded. You got an LED backlight that shoots the whole dial. Super, super cool. Web retail seems to float between like $324 and $331 for these. This is near mint to like new in box with box and papers. Your price $240, like it is, no need to sharpen. The Casio ProTrek PRW61Y1BJF watch, beautiful piece. And I just wrecked my lighting. All right, there we go. Next up, we have one from Grimsmo, but it's not a knife. And it is a super cool piece. This is the Grimsmo Saga titanium pen. It comes in a beautiful wood box with a thick hunk of lucite and a magnet that holds it together. Look at that. Inside is this thing, and it runs the Schmidt P900F, so that's a black fine. There's one installed in the pen, there's one in the box. Here it is. It's so cool. I mean, so cool. 4 15/16 overall length, and look at this. It's a click switch, right? But it doesn't bounce back. And to retract, how do you do it? Well, you pull down the gold collar. So kind of a bronzy purple anodized clip, a gold anodized collar, raw titanium barrel. Super nice in hand. It is like new in the box. I don't believe they have any of these in stock. I do believe that they are sold frequently on eBay for a lot of money. Sold listings on eBay for one that's trimmed out like this or similarly run between $375 and $400. This one can be yours. $325. No need to sharpen. That's the Grimsmo Saga titanium pen. Next up, I know I teased you guys about this one. It's from Spyderco, Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. It's a Yojimbo 2. Was a distributor exclusive for J.B. Outman, but sold widely. It was a limited edition sprint sort of thing. Brown G10 scales. The clip still mounted for tip down. Interesting. Is that kind of black oxide finish clip, not painted. Now, this is an S90V Brown G10 limited run DLC blade, but as you can see, the flats have been satined. So it's got kind of a user mod. Even after the satin, still really nice lockup. I mean, really nice. Yeah, squared away knife. But it's got some use on it, and it's been modded kind of tastefully, I think. So let's see. These are long discontinued and out of stock. Sold listings on eBay for this model run between $178 and $295. Ready? Your price? You ready? $110. $140 with my edge. It's the Spyderco Yojimbo 2 Brown and S90V. Next up, man, I've been wanting one of these. One of these days. Okay, we have a Hogue knife. Inside is a 24235 deca. Magna cut steel. Clip point blade. Tumbled finish. Ultem handle frame. Ultem. U-L-T-E-M. It is the Hogue Goldfinger. That's my word. The Ultem material is translucent gold. Then you got, I love the little brass molded in nuts for the clip mount because it complements the gold. The thumb studs are gold anodized. The body hardware, pivot, and able bar, black. Stonewashed clip, deep carry, reversible, tip up. The Hogue Able Lock, Reed Benchmade Axis Lock, works beautifully. There is your blade in CPM Magna Cut. Blade West, 21 of 50. Number 21 of 50. Okay, lockup is rock solid. Centering is dead. Condition is like new in the box. Now, the stock version, the non-Blade West version, was available, but they're out of stock. Web price for a non-Blade West was $195, and those are gone. I have no idea what these were because I didn't go. I do know this. If you want to buy this one, and it is a beautiful example. It does have a user applied edge, and it really emulates the factory edge. It's not super polished. It is nice and sharp, and it is not in the least offensive. Nicely done. Your price $200 like it is, $230 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the Hogue 24235 Deca Blade West Limited Edition. Next up, oh, it's just a Microtech. Nothing special, just an Ultratech Tonto bronzed standard. Don't know why anybody would ever get excited about these. Black hard anodized aluminum handle. Standard Microtech clip. Just a faint glimmer of bronze on the hardware. The blade maybe shows the bronze a little more nicely. Blade steel is M390. 3 5/16 blade, 4 5/8 handle. Medium to firm button effort. Reliability is 100%. Now this does have a user applied polished edge, and man, he did nice. I'm not going to offer a sharpened price for this because it's just beautiful. Manufactured 8 of 21, and the serial number is 214151. This model is currently available from web retailers. Price on them is $347. Your price on this one is going to be $295. $295 like it is. No need to sharpen. The Microtech 123-13 Ultratech TE. Next up, we have one from Tactile. Comes in that little cute box. The knife inside is the Rockwall thumb stud MagnaCut with the golf pattern titanium scales. I guess because they resemble the dimples on a golf ball. Very cool looking knife. Love how the golf pattern also carries into the pivot. You have a deep carry clip that is going to be right hand tip up only. Thumb stud actuation ball bearing pivot. Blade steel MagnaCut. It is a stainless steel liner lock, and it locks up beautifully right in the middle of the blade tang, rock solid. Ball bearing action super free. Centering is very close, but I think it favors the lock side just slightly. You might be able to loosen the pivot, but I didn't touch it. So it is a stainless steel liner lock, a 2 15/16 blade, a 4-inch handle. Near mint inbox, and this does have a. Now this consignor has sharpened this knife, and it's got sort of a polished edge, but it's not super consistent. It doesn't quite clean up at the base of the edge, and so it is plenty sharp though, and totally not offensive in appearance. So, your price. And by the way, eBay sold listings for this configuration of the Rockwall running between $240 and $329, most of them in the upper twos. This one can be yours at $245 like it is $275 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Tactile Rockwall MagnaCut golf pattern. Next up, got one from my buddies in Titusville, PA, Great Eastern Cutlery. From the handcrafted Titty cutlery line, it is a 97 Allegheny model 97 1119er in maroon linen micarta. And this is going to come with, what's that say? Oh, it's a C. Risner cutlery pocket slip. Perfect for a 97 Allegheny. Come out of there, baby. So there she is. Maroon linen micarta, hot dog shield, plain bolsters and end caps. 1095 blade. Ooh, we have a PPP etch. Beautiful swedged clip point. Long pull. And let's see. Oh, wow. No TIW. So 2019 had the carbon tang stamp. Pull weight, I'm calling a 5.5. Walk and talk are beautiful. Centering is very close, but I think favors the right. It's got a little tarnish and some pocket rubs in the nickel silver, but other than that, squared away knife. Has been used and sharpened. I'm going to give you a sharpened price, but that edge pretty squared away. I'm not sure if I bought it that I would sharpen it before using it. Just know that going in. So we'll say near mint in tube. Couldn't find any listings for this configuration of the Allegheny, either current or sold. So let's just price it at $165 like it is $190 with an Apostle P edge. The GEC Titty number 97 Allegheny. Next up from Lion Steel, and I think this knife might be exclusive to collector knives, but I can't prove that. Okay, no markings on the box. This is a fusion slip joint from Lion Steel. It is called the Jack. So typical Lion Steel slip joint stuff. Titanium bolsters and liners. Pretty neat little pivot. The wood on this knife, Santos wood. It's a Camtang slip joint with an M390 blade. Nice clip. Semi-longish pull cut swedges on both sides. M390 blade. The blade length is 2 15/16. Handles 3 7/8. Very nice in the hand. I mean, very nice in the hand. It is a Camtang knife with really nice walk and talk. And the centering is dead down the middle. This has been sharpened, and it's sharp but not a super refined edge. But not wrecked, not over sharpened in the least. We'll call it near mint in the box. These are $120 at Collector Knives. This one can be yours at $85. $85 like it is. $110 with an Apostle P edge. The Lion Steel Collector Knives, one blade Jack. Next up, like an old pair of Levi's, but fresh out of the package, huh? From Cold Steel, it's a Recon 1 Tonto in S35 VN. This one has the medium texture G10, not the super aggressive pocket shredding G10, but still thick. Both clips are included. This is the right hand clip. It's got some tiny little chipping on the edge of the clip. The lefty clip is pristine. Got your PVD coated S35 blade. Cold Steel says it's 4 inches. It's probably not. But beautiful, beautiful. Rock solid triad lockup. Nice free pivot. Centering is about perfect. Pretty doggone close. Condition on this one, we'll say near mint in box. Looks like it's been touched up or stropped a little bit. Very slight carry wear on the clip, very slight. Web price of these brand new, $130. In S35, let's do 85 on this one, like it is, $115 with an Apostle P edge. The Cold Steel Recon 1 Tonto. No, next up, it's the Save Me From Myself moment. The Save Me From Myself moment. It's a Benchmade mini grip tell-in, 556-1. And the -1, as you guys know, designates that handle and a 20 CV blade, right? Well, there's no guts in that handle. Why? Why would there be no guts in the handle? Because this mini grip is wearing a luscious set of like midnight blue hard anodized aluminum scales from Applied Weapons Technologies. That's cool. Deep carry, black, clip, tip up, ambidextrous. There is your blade in 20 CV. This one has a polished edge I wouldn't touch. I don't think I did this edge. I think my consignor did, but I can't swear to it. So it's really good. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action's nice and free. Centering is close. Very close. Very nice little package, I'm saying. I have to say near mint in box. These are discontinued, not a stock. Now generally, if I sell these -1s used, they do about 140 bucks. This one has what, $70 worth of scales installed and a sharpening job that's worth about 30. But your price, $145. Shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen. Benchmade 556-1 mini grip with AWT scales. Next up, ooh, it's our second offering from Hinderer in tonight's sale. This one, what a sweetie. The Eclipse 3.0 Harpoon Sponto Tri-Way Pivot Stonewash Blade OD Green G10 Scales. What a beauty. So there's your OD with frame revealed in lots of places. Bronze ano on all the titanium bits. Jeez. So cool. And the bearings are installed with the tri-way pivot. Look at that. And man, S35 VM blade. I actually measure this at 3 1/8. There's your lock engagement. Rock solid. Dead smooth. Dead centered. Now it has a polished edge, but it's a little not cleaned up as the belly approaches the tip, not all the way to the apex. So I am going to give you a sharpened price on this one. Although for most of its length, it's very, very, very sharp. Just saying. Oh gosh. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they were $425. We're going to do $350 on this one. $375. You'd like it with my edge. That's the Hinderer Eclipse 3.0 Harpoon Sponto. Next up, ooh, we have one from that guy. Demko Knives. The knife inside, an AD20.5. And man, it's hard to keep up with these AD20.5s. They're everywhere and they're all over the spectrum price-wise. This would be the least expensive end of the AD20.5 family. It is wearing orange Grivery handle scales. Everything in steel is stonewashed on this knife. It does have ambidextrous tip-up clips. Lefties in the box. It is a thumb stud actuated knife on ball bearings. Nice stonewash on the D2 blade. 3 3/16 inches of blade, 4 7/16 inches of handle. Shark lock. Pull back, fling closed. There we go. Takes a little rhythm. Lockup is dead rock solid. You saw the action. It's wonderful. The centering, can I call that perfect? You tell me. Why not? So these are actually on sale right now at Knife Center. They were like $150 or something. Knife Center has them in stock and on sale for $122. And by the way, it's been used and sharpened, but I'm going to offer a sharpening price because I think it's been used since sharpening. A little bit. Might not have been the best sharpening job. Not horrible. Anyway, $99 like it is. $124 if you'd like it to come with an ApostleP edge. That's the Demko AD20.5 clip point. Next up, it is Great Eastern Cutlery time, boys, and we have a lot of it. First up, from the Titty Fine Cutlery line, we got a 38-1117 in red linen micarta. It's the 38 special. So, yep, you got your sort of same handle as a Grinling Whittler, but a single special clip. Hot dog shield, plain bolsters and end caps, and that clip point blade. It's like a Randall Model 3 in miniature form. This did have a little patina at one time, and my consignor has polished it. It's right there. Not offensive at all. 3 7/8 closed. About a 6 pull on a cam. Beautiful cam tang walk and talk. Centering's down the middle. We shall call this near mint and tube patina noted. Your price $95 like it is, $115 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Titty 38 special. Next up, we got one that's rare as hen's teeth, boys. From the Farm and Field line of Great Eastern Cutlery, it's a number 47 Hayen Helper in Knife Bright acrylic. Yes, sirree. So there she is, in all her glory. Pivot rivet, brass rocker pin, brass lanyard, Knife Bright, hawkbill blade, $10.95. I'm sorry, sheep's foot blade, $10.95. Got a little patina close to the spine, a little spot out here at the tip. About a 6 pull. Beautiful walk and talk. Beautiful centering. And the tang stamp. How about a little TIW tang stamp, boys? I found one sold listing for this knife on eBay at $261. Your price on this one? Too cheap. $150 like it is, $175 with my edge, and that is the Rob's pick for tonight's sale. So my early birds never saw it. GEC Farm and Field 47 Hayen Helper. Next up, another Great Eastern Cutlery knife from the handcrafted Titty Cutlery line of classic pocket knives. We have a number 488217 48 Slim Trapper in Bloodwood. Bloodwood. Good looking Bloodwood on this one too, guys. I mean, I don't generally love Bloodwood, but these covers rock. Got your hot dog shield, plain bolsters and end caps. Main blade is a muskrat clip. Again, looks like a little tiny bit of former patina and a slight flitz job. Oh yeah. 6.5 pull. Stunning walk and talk. There's your secondary Warncliffe blade. You know, I don't know. I think this is my edge. If it's not, it's a really good imitation. So there's going to be no sharpen price. Man, what a beauty. What a beauty. Centering's gorgeous on both blades. So, one sold listing on eBay for a Bloodwood 48 at 280 bucks. This knife, it's been sharpened well. It's had a little patina polish, nicely done. Beautiful wood. 160 like it is, 190 with an ApostleP edge. The GEC Titty number 48 Slim Trapper. Next up, ooh, what a little beauty here. Look at that. Huh, a little fade in the tube label. A Titty GEC 72 lockback trapper, model 721116LB in grizzly cut bone. What a great little user this is, guys. So it's 3 13/16 and overall length closed. The blade is a single clip, full flat ground with a nice little drawn swedge. TIW tang stamp. Now this has got some fine scratches in the blade from cleaning. It's been touched up, it looks like. I have a little bit of vertical play, 0 side. Nice firm back spring. It's a little gummy on close, but yeah, it's a user. Centering a little off to the right. Anyhow, I'm going to call it excellent in tube. One of these is all that's sold on eBay recently. Must have been a like new in tube example because it did $350. This one, $150 like it is, $170 with an ApostleP edge. GEC Titty number 72 lockback trapper. Next up, you guys have no idea how hard it was for me to even put this knife in the sale because I kept one and sold it. It's a GEC Northfield with a tube label from a very verbose person named Rob Bixby, and the name of the knife is the Heartland Clip. It's a 74, essentially a 74 Stallion with the muskrat clip in autumn gold jig bone, but special factory order for me back in 2017. Corset shield, triple line bolsters, bare ends. And that beautiful thing. Muskrat clip with a very long hand-done cut swedge. Titusville Ironworks tang stamp. Now, this did have a spot of corrosion right about there. My consignor did kind of a bad flitz job. It made it super blotchy. So I resatined the mark side of that blade. So not only is it my special factory order, but it has some of my handwork in it, whatever that means. Pull weight is a 7, strong 7. Perfect walk and talk. Perfect centering. Some of the better looking jigging from this 50-piece run. I mean, that is really quite good. So yeah, I guess we'll call it near mint and tube. Mark side refinished by the ApostleP. SFO for the ApostleP. Your price, cheapest one that's probably sold in the last 5 years. $220 like it is. $240 my edge. Next up, we're going to finish with 3 out of my personal collection. I don't know why I'm selling this, and I'm probably not selling it for enough. It's a GEC Northfield number 44 Buffalo Jack or 44 Magnum gun stock in Sandbar Stag. There's an S on the tube cap, and trust me, that is Bill Howard making you look, as he likes to do, because there's nothing wrong with this knife. Look at that stag. And that stag. Oh, golly. What are you doing, Rob? Oh, anyway. 8 pull. Everything's beautiful. It is like new in the tube. Never carried it. You know what? I carried it for some pocket dump videos, about 2 of them. Store only for no discernible reason. It's a beauty. Your price, $275 like it is. $305. I sharpen both blades. GEC Northfield number 44 Buffalo Jack Stag. Next up. Oh. It's a titty from Great Eastern Cutlery. Number 920114BE in OD green linen micarta. Yes, it's a 92 Talon. It's my 92 Talon. It's been carried in a slip. It's been used. It's beautiful. It is a Wharncliffe blade. Very little scratching. My edge, of course. Stunning walk and talk. 7 pull. Centering is close. Condition, near mint in tube. Oh, by the way, made in 2014, so the tank stamp, TIW, Titusville Ironworks. Your price, no need to sharpen, by the way, $250. $250. That brings us to the last knife in the sale. The last knife in the sale is a Spyderco with a yellow label. The model, of course, is C07S. What is it? Well, it's the OG. It is the OG cop knife. It's a stainless steel police. Notice on the show side, the clear plastic tape has never been removed. There's the little tab right there. Midlock boy dent. Big old 4-inch blade. Gorgeous swedge, full spider edge, VG10 steel. Lockup is rock solid. Centering is perfect. Condition, well, as close to like new in box that a 20-year-old knife can be. Your price, and you will not find a price drop on this. Don't wait for it. $130 or I keep it. That is the Spyderco Police OG in full spider edge. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys.